chasing points. We are back. The whole crew is here. Brennan's here. Harrison's here. Sam's here. I'm here. Hello, everybody. Thank you for listening to another episode 195. 5 more until 200. Brennan and Sam say they're going streaking at 200. So just live stream. We got this going, getting ready for you guys. So, off of that, gentlemen, we're getting closer and closer to Christmas. We're getting closer and closer to playoff football. It's cold as shit outside. How are you guys doing?
Great. Happy to be all together. It's been a little bit since we've all been together as a family.
Yep.
It's only right that we are as we get into the spirit.
True.
Question for you, Hayes. How do you feel about cutting down your own Christmas tree?
Can think about it and get back to us.
I plead the fifth.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Plead the fifth. No, I would if I had to, but I'm also not a real Christmas tree person. Like I don't care for real Christmas trees. I don't like the whole pine thing and all that stuff. You know,
I've gone both. You know, we go fake, real. I lean towards fake tree.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I honestly will say this because for those that are listening to the pod for the first time, I am the only one without child. So if my child wanted a real Christmas tree, then I'm sure I would make the sacrifice for the kiddo. But until then, fake tree all day. So yeah.
I don't know if they care either way.
I don't think they do.
I haven't had an instance where either of my children have said that tree's real or that tree's fake. They kind of just are like, where the hell are the presents? And where the hell is that stupid goddamn elf?
That's fair.
Yeah, the elf
on the shelf
rules Christmas, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I didn't do it as a child, so when
same.
When Amy started it, I was like, so I have to move this thing every night, and sure enough,
I don't think
was it around when we were kids. I was going to say it wasn't around when we were kids, right? No. Okay.
I don't know. I guess it's.
I know who created it, but I'm not going to get canceled. But Brendan, you were going to say something.
We predate the elf on the shelf and
wow.
Snoop on the stoop. Yeah,
but in total millennial fashion, we like outdo it. Like 110%.
Yeah, like all in. Yeah, I'm more of a Snoop on a stoop kind of guy, but.
All right.
Yeah. Mensch on a bench.
I dig that. That.
Mm-hmm.
I did see one elf on the shelf today on somebody's Twitter, and it was or X, and it was a graham cracker, and it had a chocolate streak down it, basically it. And I was like, some people are just doing too much.
Yeah.
So there's a line. There's a fine line that you gotta.
Yeah. My son lost a tooth the other day. That you guys see on my Instagram. What happened to my elf?
Yeah,
he ran into Tooth Fairy and tied up in floss and hung upside down. And the Tooth Fairy left a note. It was clever.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Send me any ideas you have on Pinterest, Brandon, because at 11:30 p.m. when I'm trying to figure out what to do with this damn elf for the next day, I'll need them.
I got ideas percolating right now.
Yeah, appreciate it.
While we're on the Christmas spirit,
holiday spirit, we're all inclusive here.
Christmas spirit, is what I said. So
wow.
Okay,
wow, sick.
I
double down. Thank you. When do you put up your Christmas tree? What's the rule for you guys? When do you put up the Christmas tree, and more importantly, when do you take down the Christmas tree?
We go right after Thanksgiving. It's a Friday. Deal, and then we take it down. Pretty much immediately. It's gone.
So, right after Christmas, or after New Year's?
Maybe a day or two in between.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so you don't have it up for New Year's?
No, not that I remember. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
For me, it's always after New Year's, directly after New Year's. And then it's done. I feel like anything beyond that is blasphemous, honestly.
Yeah, I begin to judge people when they leave it up till February, March.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the my parents leave it up. Well, I guess we do too. Up until Epiphany, January 6th. That's the old Italian thing.
That's not bad. I'd say the first week of January is okay. Still the beginning of that. But once you're carrying that shit into March, we got a problem.
Oh yeah. Well, that thing
take it down.
that thing's ready to go up in flames. It's real. So.
Yeah, I remember the last time we had a real one. It got real sketchy. I was like, we got to take this down.
Yeah, this is
fire hazard. Yeah,
let's not turn this
It's a
on.
little warm in here, guys.
But yeah, if you're taking the time to put up all those lights, you better take the time to take them down. Don't procrastinate.
Yes,
Get it
absolutely.
together. Get it together.
My parents have had the same fake Christmas tree my whole life. It's ginormous, but it's like individual color coded.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the newer ones that'll just like
yes.
And that thing takes all day to
put it up. Yep, absolutely. You got to put the extra
and then
ones in.
and then you have to like ruffle
Then it just certain way.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. That one hits home.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That is painful. That's painful.
So we just put ours up yesterday, and I've always had a real tree growing up, and I love it. The smell and whatever, the tradition of it. But what a pain in the neck.
It's such a mess, man.
Just going out to get it and throwing it on the roof, having some clown, net it for you, and trying to jerry rig it up there so it doesn't fall off on the highway. Yeah. And then you get home, I throw it in the stand. I like duck walk it in the front door, and then we put it inside, and it's like 8 inches too tall. And like, well, got to fire up the chainsaw, take a few more inches off. Yeah, so I love it, but it's kind of a hassle.
Yeah, it needs to be precise. It needs to be the right dimensions for your place. That's another reason why I go fake tree, is because I know what it is right off the rip. But I do love the pine smell for sure.
Now, wait a second. So before we move off this, Harry, if you ask your wife, Hayes, ask your girlfriend, would they say that they would prefer a real tree?
Yeah, real. They want real. So like the real thing.
Is this a...
No.
Okay.
All right.
No.
Not universal.
She's a fake. She's a fake tree. She's a fake tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we're in the same thing because it's also that, like I said, the pine needles that fall all over the floor that you got to clean, and then when you take it out, now you have to dispose of it properly. Right, you have to get it gone somehow, some way. Right.
Oh, I burned that thing. I threw it right in the fireplace outside. You used to see that thing go up.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why it's a damn fire hazard. No, thank you.
Throw it outside. It's golden within a day. Like, oh shit, this is ready.
Yeah. Yep. Ready to go here.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
Well, speaking of ready to go here, we're ready to get this podcast going. And yes, for those that celebrate Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, happy holidays to you as well. I was just busting about where Festivus for the rest of this. That's true. That's very, very true. We got some football to talk about. All right. We got some dubs. We got some L's for those that are new. We got some college football to talk about today as well. No basketball, but that soon come. So let's get right into it. Brendan, you have a very interesting dub to start us off with. What is your dub of the week?
I've got my New York Football Giants.
Can't let him go first, man.
I'm back as my dub for the week.
Weren't they on a bye?
They were on a bye this week, so
can't lose, baby.
For once this season, they cannot be my L. I guess they probably could have figured out a way to screw it up, but
sure.
But yeah, they're on the bye this week, and they're as of right now. If the season ended today, they would have the number 1 pick in the draft. So that's why they are my dub for the week. I don't expect them to finish the year and ultimately get the number 1 overall pick. But they do play the Raiders in a couple of weeks, I believe it is, and the Raiders have the 2nd overall pick if the season were to end today. So that should be the battle for the top pick in next year's draft. So yeah, good job, G-Man. You didn't disappoint me this week.
That is classic. I have nothing to add.
You have the first pick. What are you doing?
I was going to say, I would assume that they would trade back, and I think that would be the right move. They obviously have a lot of holes to fill, and thankfully we have our quarterback at the moment. So trade back, collect some pick capital, and try to plug some of those holes.
I think that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
That was good. I'm sorry. Had to move myself away. I was being immature. I hope they don't screw it up. I hope they don't screw it up. I'm sure. To be fair, Joe with the G-Men has made some solid picks during his time. I think overall, not really been the best thing, but as I keep saying, I think they're building for the future, and I think they have the foundation to have a scary team in the next couple of years, while other teams around them are getting older. Primarily, let's just talk about the Cowboys. Like, Dak is moving closer and closer to the end of his career, and I'm not saying his career is anywhere near being over, but the Commanders got younger with their quarterback. I mean, Jalen is kind of like right in the middle, and that's kind of like where it's at this point. So teams are getting younger, so they're kind of ahead of the trend when it comes to that, especially with that defensive line. But you also have Sexy Dexy that's getting older too, so you're losing that as well potentially soon. So curious to see what they do.
Yeah.
Definitely curious to see what they do.
Same. I'm not to, discuss
Talk about a team on a bye when
bottom feeder team for too long here, but yeah. But I see all over Hayes' favorite outlet X and across various sporting analysts and everything. But Giants O-line is doing better this year. But yes. I don't want to see them get lulled into like a false sense of security or that like this is a top offensive line, because by no means is it that.
Is it? Yeah.
And there are a few really solid O-line prospects in next year's draft. I would love for them to, get another tackle, get another guard, protect Dart at all costs. We see he can be a detriment to his own well-being at times, but you got to protect the quarterback. And I think it would be a mistake to say, yep, we're good on the O-line because of a decent performance over the past few weeks. So, yeah, I'm hoping they end up trading back. I know they're looking at receiver, but there's some, like I said, glaring needs there, corner and O-line and linebacker as well. So,
my interest you in the safety.
Any defensive back.
Okay. Because Caleb Downs is probably my favorite defensive player in this draft. So that'd be a nice one. But I think you can definitely trade back. I think the top two are QBs with Mendoza and
Dante Moore.
Yeah, Dante Moore. So, yeah, you can trade back, get a few more assets, and then go from there. But you're in a good position.
Sure the Jets will keep winning.
Thanks to this bye week.
Yeah. Great bye.
Best week of the year.
And the Patriots also on a bye. Things got better for them too, right? Just teams losing.
Yeah, just hanging around. Just hanging around.
Great way to start the pod.
Yeah. Harrison, you have the Jags.
I do. Don't look now. Jaguars are 9-4 and leading the AFC South, 4 wins in a row. We talked a lot of shit about the AFC South in our preview pod. I think we only gave it like 20 minutes, but
not a lot of shit because it was only 20 minutes. But yeah.
But it's been much better than the AFC North. So shout out to the Jaguars, the Texans, and the Colts, who are looking like they're going to fall off a little bit now with this Daniel Jones injury. Tough Achilles injury. But Jags took care of business. They had 28 first quarter points, completely took the Colts out of the game early. And Trevor Lawrence hasn't sucked. So good on them. But they have a really favorable schedule coming up. I mean, they got the Jets, Broncos, not so favorable, Colts again, and then the Titans. So they could just roll right into being probably the second seed in the AFC, which would be a wild development for a team that we didn't really care for or that anyone cared for going into this year.
I think I picked them to win the division.
Did you?
I think I did too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna look. Okay,
you guys were all hyped up on Indiana Jones.
I think I picked the Texans.
Hold on, I
definitely don't believe I picked the Colts for that, but
yeah, I didn't pick the Colts. Definitely didn't.
Definitely don't believe that.
AFC South, Hayes, Texans. Bacon and I have the Jaguars. You have the Texans.
Oh, congratulations! I'm sorry, guys. Good job by you.
There you go.
Sam. Now this is a good way to start the pod.
There we go.
We could just do a little edit switch. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll switch things around. Hazel do that.
No.
No edits.
No edits. Especially because you got this coming up next from my boy Shador.
Let's do it.
You know, I've been waiting for this moment.
What was that?
I've been waiting for this damn moment.
Oh, okay.
For Shador to be named the quarterback for the rest of the season for the Browns, and for him to have a phenomenal game. He went 23 for 42, 364 yards, and 4 total touchdowns with 1 INT yesterday. Only to have this great game robbed from him by his head coach for a botched lateral that the wide receiver didn't even lateral the ball and then turned around and tried to throw it. I don't understand how you take out this young man that is kept you in the whole entire game, and on the most crucial play, you say, nah, we don't need him on a 2-point conversion. And then doubled down when you went to media and said, yeah, we failed on the 2-point conversion earlier, and then we messed up on this one. That's why he wasn't in on that one. Yeah, that bozo can be fired. But Shador, I'm very, very happy to see him doing what I knew that he could do when he had the opportunity, because it was very evident to me that he was better than Dylan Gabriel, because he was better throughout his college career than him. More accurate, better pocket passer, and he's actually showing some mobility that he was considered to be one of the slower quarterbacks. He's still not the fastest, but is able to maneuver and move out of the pocket and just pinpoint precision. So it's very nice to watch and see what's happening. And now, to be fair, for those that are probably already saying this while I'm saying this, it was against the Titans. I get that. I understand that. But it's still an NFL team, and it's still a rookie quarterback with a not-so-great team outside of his defense. So just wanted to give him a shout-out for that.
To the Gabriel point, and I know there was, they drafted Gabriel first, technically, and they were very defiant to say Shador's not close to being QB1. But what we saw, 5 or 6 weeks of Dylan Gabriel, maybe more. On what planet are these two in a competition with each other? We all assume this going after the draft, going into the season, right? It was only a matter of time. But on what principles here are you standing by? Dylan Gabriel beat out Shador Sanders and for QB2 to start the year, or at any point,
it was why. It was why it was so maddening during the draft weekend to see it happening, because it was obvious to everyone watching, and we're not scouts, we're not in the front office, but I watched Dylan Gabriel through college. I watched Shador through college. They're not close. It just wasn't. It was very weird. And then all the other quarterbacks that went before him, I'm like, what are we doing? There's has to be something obviously very weird happened there. That I'm not sure we'll ever know, but
sure we have an idea of what it was, but I mean, we never technically know.
I guess, but I would like to know for sure that Shador came to those meetings and said, "I'm not coming to your team." I just tell me that so that I know for later on. But yeah, it's obvious now. He's still got a lot of room to grow. But he's got the tools to do it. And he had the tools in college too. So it's if you give him a chance and develop him in the correct way, he's a valuable asset, I think. And I think he'll be a very solid quarterback. Yes.
One question for the pod. If you all have sons, which you all do, and your son is playing football, and you have an opportunity to have your son be mentored by a quarterback, and let's just say, said quarterback is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, you would probably think that guy would probably be pretty good and have a potential of growing and learning the game through the eyes of a legend. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, Tom Brady is his mentor.
Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah, Jimmy, porn star Jimmy. Yes, exactly.
That's who Hayes was.
Tom Brady's his mentor. He's been in his ear. He's trained with him. He's been showing him the game. It obviously that doesn't necessarily mean everything will come to fruition, but when you have somebody that you can rely on that has, is arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, I would think that that'd be somebody that you want to get out and give an opportunity to actually excel. And I'm just glad he's got that opportunity. So.
And, Browns doing what's best for them and losing that game.
Yeah, I don't care that they lost that game. That's a great way to lose a game.
Yeah. They might as well have been on a bye.
Look, we can all agree that Shador shouldn't have been the first QB drafted. Shouldn't have been.
Even though he thoroughly outplayed him yesterday, too.
Yeah, which is also funny. And probably you can make the case. I mean, clearly it was the case he won the 5th round, but that he wasn't even a day 1 pick. But yeah, the fact that he went 5th in the 5th round is just mad.
It's just weird. It was weird. Weird stuff.
Yeah.
Bacon, any thoughts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think front offices tend to overthink it.
Yeah.
And I think this is a classic case of that. So
Now Paul DePodesta is the Colorado Rockies problem, right? Wasn't he with the Browns?
Yes.
Or was that a long time ago?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
I can now shut up about being on my hill of calling for Shador to be the starting quarterback, since now he's that. So now I can just sit back and not say anything. So,
but this shouldn't be a surprise either. I mean, this is just classic Browns type behavior.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is just what we should come to expect from this.
True.
Defunct
this
franchise.
Organization.
Yeah.
By the way, they opened the practice window for Deshaun Watson. I don't know if any of you saw that. It popped up as a banner on my phone, and I was like, get this shit off my phone. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I needed to see that, but thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate it.
I mean, he's still, under contract for another year or two? It's all guaranteed. He's probably going to be on the roster. I think if he's healthy, he's got to be QB2.
I will say, I will be open and honest. When that banner went across my phone, I forgot that he was on the Browns.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest about it, because they've had about 5 quarterbacks on their team already this year, and all 4 have played, and he's the only one that hasn't played this year. So, yeah.
They had what's his name too. They traded, right? Was it Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Yep, that's true. No. Kenny Pickett got traded. Yep. Kenny 2 gloves. You have the Texans, Sam, as your pick.
They beat up on the Chiefs yesterday. I was saying before the pod started recording that the game all week in my head, I was like, I need to pick the Texans, and I didn't. So I'm not hedging here, but I thought the Chiefs would show up, and they need to win that game. Hazel, you'll get to that in a second, but on the Texans there, they held Mahomes to a passer rating under 20. His previous low was last year at 44. 4 of 30 on third downs, and they only sent 4 to rush. So the Texans just completely had their way with this offensive line and just left Mahomes with no one open or just time to get the ball. It was rough. This defense is playing at elite level, and now CJ Stroud healthy. That Nico Collins showing he's one of the best receivers in the league, and they have a bit of a running game now too. So just the right time to get hot. Probably won't catch the Jaguars, right? Or maybe right there, but
close.
Yeah, it's nice to see.
I would say number one, talking about Nico. Nico had a little bit of a break because McDuffie went out early, and that helped him for sure. And that changed the Chiefs' game plan defensively, for sure. But I will say that with this Texans defense, CJ now coming back from this injury, he doesn't have to do too much. All he has to do is be a game manager and not really worry about what he had to do. Prior to the defense playing to this standard that I thought they should always be, especially with a defensive mind like D'Amico Ryans, they are now they have been the number 1 defense in the NFL pretty much all season. And the way that they are able to get to the quarterback, essentially what you talked about, Sam, is they didn't rush. They sent 4. Is exactly what the Eagles did in the Super Bowl. That's the game plan against the Chiefs that is now seemed to be working for most teams if they have the capability of doing that, right? Texans are a little bit different from most other teams because, again, number 1 defense. For the Chiefs,
their 4 is a lot better than a lot of teams' 4s, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's my L is, as Sam mentioned, is the Chiefs here. I mentioned, I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago, I've said it a couple times, is the Chiefs are aging, and they're aging like cheese. And I don't mean cheese that is put away in a luxurious cheese, and I mean like cheese that's left in your fridge that's already opened and it's got mold on it. That's what it's starting to look like. The receivers can't get open, and at times when they do, it's not really much. Again, as I said, I know Sam and I talked about this last time, and he said about Travis, and Travis didn't show up again. It's these type of things that are happening, and again, it just feels like what happened with the Patriots when they had that downtime in Tom's career or whatever. And I know no matter what, they're always going to compare the two, but they need to retool. They just need to retool. It just looks very, very stale. And at this point, it feels like the rest of the league has caught up to them and realizes what happens. It's what happens in all sports that we watch, guys. And I'm sure you guys can agree with me, is there's one powerhouse team for so long, and then every team starts to build to beat that team. And then somebody figures it out, and then everybody starts to duplicate the same thing. And then it just is what it is. But Patrick is still Patrick. I can't knock him. He's still doing what he's going to do. It's just, it doesn't look great. And that defense that once was a really, really great defense doesn't look the greatest either. So,
Kansas City cheese.
Who are you that knows so much about cheese? Man,
a lot of cheese.
He went to the culinary, got a minor in cheese.
I'll just go right into mine because it's Chiefs related. But, or cheese related. I mean, I thought the defense played awesome yesterday. I thought going for it on fourth down on like the 25-yard line when it's 10-10 is like a malpractice. And like the Texans were literally doing nothing. Like they scored 10 points in the first quarter and had not sniffed any type of yardage throughout their second and the third and even the fourth quarter. Like CJ Stroud made some really nice throws yesterday under pressure. He played okay. He played fine. But the Chiefs defense was like holding it down the entire time. And then to put them behind the 8-ball and basically give away the game. They gave away the game. Like they literally just gave away the game by just going for it on that fourth when they hadn't been successful with any of those plays all game like that, any of the crossing routes. Like Rashee Rice was getting lit up all day, dropping passes left and right. So it's
6 drops, I think.
Yeah, it was just
not for him, the receiving core, but
the whole receiving core was. But to go for it there when you have 8 minutes left is just they overthought it. They completely overthought it. And they were pressing, and they said, we need to get this win now, and it backfired. And now they are completely behind the 8-ball, and it's a shame. But it is what it is. They've had enough success.
I mean, I think it's safe to say they're not going to make the playoffs, right?
I think they're like 20-something% now.
Yeah.
They're not catching Denver. They're not going to catch the Chargers. And so they have...
Last 4 games, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. So I see 2-2 there.
Yeah, 3-1, best case.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, well.
That's a shame.
It's more fun having Patrick Mahomes around, but I don't think we'll get that this year.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brendan is kind of fine with this. Sam, your L is the Colts.
Yeah. I hate to see Danny Dimes officially done with a torn Achilles. I was having a great year, and that team was doing a lot with just a mixture of being very lucky and just playing really efficiently. And I realized yesterday that the Jets have the Colts first-round pick this year, next year. So thank you to one of my favorite GMs, Chris Ballard of the Colts. And that's not being facetious either. I do praise Chris Ballard. And in this case, I do because...
Some sea fish.
Sorry. I'm whatever.
For Jesus.
For cheese.
For Jesus. For cheese sticks.
Cheese sticks.
Yeah.
Packers.
Believe this?
I like cheese.
Yeah.
I like cheese too. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I had to.
But hate to see hate to see this happen, but it happened. here we are. And it probably saved the Colts from doing something crazy like giving this guy a ton of money when it was, a lot still left to be seen. So I'll be really interested to see what the market for Daniel Jones is and how that looks. But when you have a quarterback that you like and can run the system, he'll probably end up in Indy and be a great fit. But just hate to see, prime career, probably last big contract can be able to get, and he was having such a, could be comeback player of the year, and it's all gone.
Well, do you think he gets the multi-year deal even with this?
No.
You could see him tagging him maybe, or
that makes sense. That's true. That's true.
But again, it may just there's certainly something there, right, between Steichen and him and this offense, and if I don't know what the market for Daniel Jones is going to be, so maybe it's just hey, we still have Anthony Richardson. Because Jones is going to be ready anytime soon to start next year. So
it's so late in the year. He's going to miss a whole another year.
Yeah,
it's brutal injury for him. And I mean,
Deshaun Watson, right? He tore his Achilles around week 10, 11, 12 last year.
Yeah,
he just activated his window. Doesn't mean he has 3 weeks to practice or play, or he's not going to be able to. And so you're looking at another lost year for Daniel Jones next year too. So
it's
the Colts are in peril.
It's very interesting because I think we talked about it, but we saw how hot the Colts started. Brendan said it's Daniel Jones, and I'm not. That's obviously Brendan never. Just for those that think I'm insinuating, Brendan wanted this to happen. He did not want this to happen. He was just talking about Daniel.
I got the voodoo doll out.
Was it Billy Madison? Billy Madison with Steve Buscemi, and he's got the list.
Yes.
Glad I called that guy.
Yeah, glad I called that
guy. Unbelievable.
The Colts really didn't play anybody earlier in the season, right? The Colts, we kept saying, well, wait and let's see what the Colts really look like when they started playing teams, and they started playing legitimate teams, and they started to lose. We heard every week about Jonathan Taylor. I haven't heard about him in a few weeks now at this point in time, right? So everything kind of cooled down. Obviously, the injury sucks. My Achilles, there's Achilles, right? Or ACL? Achilles, right? My Achilles brother here. And it's unfortunate. I liked what was happening for him and what was happening for this team. It just is what it is, I guess. I guess this is what happens. God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would have been willing to say it wasn't all Daniel Jones, so I would like to see how they would finish the year, but their schedule is so tough to finish too. So they have Seahawks, Niners, Jags, and Texans again. And then I like Riley Leonard. He's the Notre Dame quarterback and a rookie, but now he has a knee injury too. So I don't even know who they have at this moment to play quarterback. Anthony Richardson is still out with the eye injury because he snapped a stretching band. They just had a comedy of errors and just a lot of misfortune over this last month and a half.
It is what it is. Brennan, do you have an L?
I do.
Giants.
Surprise! It's the Giants. It's our picks from this past week.
Oh no!
What the hell are we doing here?
This was the worst collective week we've had.
It wasn't great.
It was really bad.
It's our worst since week 5, which is the last time where 2 of us were below 500, and me and Hayes weren't too much better at 7 and 6. So we got to rebound this week. So hopefully we got some good picks coming in here.
Well, when you say we, you mean Sam, you, and myself, because this is normal Tennessee for Harrison.
This is even bad for me.
4-9 is pretty bad.
Right. You're right. It's pretty bad.
4-9 is pretty bad.
I'm not even picking against the spread. I'm just picking straight up. This is just horrible.
Yeah. I think about that often of what it would look like if we were picking against the spread.
Yeah. It'd be not good.
We should. Let's do it. And then we also should bring back Chat GPT to see what Chat GPT would do in this moment.
Chat would have kicked our ass this week. I'll tell you
Chat
that.
probably would have kicked our asses this week. You're probably right about that.
Yeah, but shout out real quick to myself. Only one out of the four of us to pick the Steelers and the Packers, and that just added to my win total. So,
well, speaking of win totals,
secondary L or a W rather for myself. So, yep, there we go.
Yeah,
you and the Giants, just a bunch of winners.
Me and the G-Men.
Anyway, Sam's record is 137. Bacon is 133. He's still in second place, so he's not a total winner here.
Right.
Hayes, as myself, is 127, and Harry is 116. And not going to get better. I
would say my season's been like the Colts, but I didn't even start good. So
it's true. It's true.
Yeah, just cratering. We're spiraling right now.
For the Monday night game, Harrison has the Chargers, and the rest of us have the Eagles. So you guys will actually know who won that pick once this comes out tomorrow.
It'll definitely be you guys.
Well, I don't know. Week 15 picks. Thursday Night Football, which is actually a good one. To be fair, this year, there's been some way better Thursday Night Football games this year than it has in the past. I would just say that because they're normally dog water. But Falcons at Bucks. We all have the Bucks. Sunday, Browns at Bears.
You like this one? You like this game?
I don't like this.
It's a division rival. They always turn up against each other.
That's fair.
They always turn up against each other. So that's the only reason I'm saying it. I'm not saying it's like blockbuster game, but it's just you know what I mean.
No, that's fair.
Browns and Bears.
Be a bad good game.
Raheem Morris get fired at the end of the year? Yeah, Raheem Morris. Does Raheem Morris get fired at the end of the year?
Why not?
They
I guess
got blanked pretty much by the Seahawks. I don't know.
I don't know.
They're
popped in my brain today. I was like, are they going to have another head coach?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're 7 lost in their last 8 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably gets fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normally a sign for getting fired. Sunday, speaking of fired, so the head coach of the Browns probably be fired. Browns at Bears. We all have the Bears. Ravens at Bengals. We all have Bengals. By the way, that Bengals-Bills game was phenomenal. Awesome. Phenomenal. And we didn't mention the Bills on here at all. We haven't really mentioned them in recent weeks, but they have won some games, and it's due to Josh Allen. He has put the team on his back 100%. So I want to give a shout out to that. I know my coworker is going to be happy as hell that I just gave a shout out to the Bills because I talked so much shit to him about him. But they deserve everything that they get. And also they're the only team in New York. So shout out to Brendan for that. Wow. Cardinals at Texans. We all have the Texans. Jets at Jags for all of us. Chargers at Chiefs. Sam, you don't have a pick here. So I'm curious why, because I have a funny feeling you have a reason why. But I have the Chargers. Harry has Chargers and Bacon has Chiefs. So Sam, go right ahead, sir.
I think I was saying it before the pod that I want to see how Herbie does tonight with his broken hand, but I don't know. I don't want to fall into the same trap I did with the Texans, right? The Chiefs are at home. They need to win division. I'm going to pick the Chargers. But if Herbie looks awful, then maybe I'll
refer to the Chiefs. Okay, yeah. That's fair.
How's that hand going to feel in the cold, too?
Fair.
Mm-hmm. True.
All he needs is his right hand.
I have so many jokes on this.
Next game.
Next game. Bills at Pats. We all have the Pats except for Sam, who has the Bills, and I think this is going to be a really good game, like blockbuster good game.
Yeah.
We'll get back to why, Sam, you have the Bills. Commanders at Giants. We all have the Giants, except for the resident Giants fan who has the Commanders. So we'll come back to that. Raiders at Eagles. We all have the Eagles, which probably means the Raiders are going to win. Packers at Broncos. We all have the Broncos, except for Harrison, who has the Packers. Lions at Rams. We're split here. Sam and I are Rams. Harry and Bacon are Lions. Panthers at Saints. We all have the Short King. Colts at Seahawks. I have the Rainy Birds, and that's what we all have here, the Seahawks. Titans at Niners. We all have Niners. Sunday Night Football, Vikings at Cowboys. I have the Vikings. The rest of you have the Cowboys. And then Monday Night Football, Dolphins at Steelers. I'm the only one that has the Dolphins, and you all have the Steelers. So let's go back to Sam real quick. Sam, you have the Bills over the Pats. Why, sir?
I just think the Bills are a better team. I know there's a lot of questions about the Patriots, the schedule, and all of that. And I like this Patriots team. I just think the Bills are a better team, offensively, defensively. But I think it's gonna be a great game.
Okay.
Just if Josh Allen keeps playing the way he's playing, all respect to Matt Stafford, he's probably the MVP again. Or if he continues to put games together like this, I know it's in New England, but I'm going to pick the Bills here.
Okay. Bacon, you have the Commanders over your G-Men. Why?
Number one pick, baby. That's all there isn't.
That's a great point. They're going to do a lot not to win. It's a great point.
True.
But so are the Commanders.
That's true,
where
too.
Are the Commanders at right now?
3-10.
Shout out to Commanders fans.
Jaden. Yeah.
I love that reasoning, though. Both those teams are going to do a lot to lose that game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some might not even get on the bus,
I can't wait to see it.
Race to the bottom.
Jaden's done for the year, right? Like they said he could have gone back in and played, but you got to.
Yeah, they're probably going to shut him down. Right? Listen, I would have shut him down after I saw what happened to my boy Zach Ertz. I would not put anybody back out on the field after that.
And he left the game. He left the game yesterday, so he's probably done for the rest.
But they said he could have went back in if they needed him. But I think Dan Quinn also feels bad for leaving him in there and getting his elbow broken in the first place.
Probably. Probably.
Can't believe he's even back this soon.
I'd say. Well, he didn't break it. It was just like, wasn't it strained or something like that? Yeah, it's because he would have been done if it was broken. I have the Vikings against the Cowboys. Sam and I were talking before the podcast started. Neither of us trust JJ McCarthy at all, but I trust the Vikings defense, and that's going to be a good matchup against the Cowboys. And the Cowboys somehow, some way, piss it away. So I've been back and forth with it. My reasoning may change at some point. And then the Dolphins against the Steelers. I mean, the Dolphins have just been on a heater, and they beat some good teams. So the only thing is, the Dolphins suck in the cold, and they're going to play the Steelers. So
they didn't this past week.
The first game 201. Right. Yeah. First game 201 where it was under 46 degrees or something like that.
Wow, what a stat.
Yeah. I heard it on a fantasy podcast.
Okay.
He's on a cold heater.
What fantasy was it?
Football. Fantasy football.
Anyway,
CBS.
College football playoffs. We have the bracket, and some people are butthurt about it. So
they are.
The number one seed is Indiana, which I'm pretty sure that if we started this podcast over today, we would not have chosen them to be number one in the nation and number one in the bracket at all. I probably would have thought it was going to be Ohio State, who is number 2, Georgia's 3, and Texas Tech, which I would not have thought would have been number 4, is number 4. Mixed in there is JMU. You have Oregon, Bama, Oklahoma, Harry's former place, Tulane. You got Ole Miss. You got Miami, the U, and Texas A&M. The teams that were left out, one in particular we're really going to talk about. Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, and Vanderbilt all left out from there. So before we get into Notre Dame, because I'm sure we all have a lot to say about this, what is your thoughts of the bracket?
I'm excited for it. I think you got a lot of good mix of teams. The first round's been interesting. It's been a lot of blowouts in the last couple of years that they've done this format. I think that'll continue. I think JMU is up against Oregon. And then obviously Tulane already lost to Ole Miss this year already. Ole Miss has obviously a new coach, as we talked about last week, but I still think they get it done. The Texas A&M Miami matchup looks awesome, and then Bama Oklahoma already played this year too, and that was a good one. So I think you get 2 out of the 4 that are really good, and then the top 4 are so deserving. I mean, Indiana has been awesome all year, hasn't lost, just beat Ohio State obviously in an incredible defensive effort game. Georgia's Georgia, Ohio State, coming back again as the champion. And then Texas Tech, who a lot of people don't know about, but their defense is absolutely incredible. And if they gave the Heisman to defensive players, they have a linebacker that is very worthy of it. So a lot of really interesting matchups and exciting time of year for college football.
Anybody else? Thoughts?
Yeah, I knew this was coming as they expanded the field, right? Like it's the same thing at March Madness, and there's 64 teams, and it's like, oh man, what about so and so? So there's always going to be this. I do get to your point, Harrison, a little worried about this first round and what that's going to look like, and especially blowouts. But yeah, that's fine. More football, I'm fine with it. I don't know enough to really question rankings and stuff, but I'm excited to watch a lot of these matchups.
This is the first year I've been not locked in college football in a while. Shout out to Penn State for that. So I don't really care about any of this, to be honest, but I will be watching.
Do you care?
I'll be watching for sure. What I care about the most is Notre Dame not being in it, and I'm very, very, very happy about that. Little crybaby back bitches that wanted to decline.
They got robbed, bro.
They're 10-2, and who have they played?
Not a lot, but they still got robbed.
Okay, all right. They're 10-2, didn't really play anybody, and they're not undefeated. So this is what happens when you're this independent conference that you want to be by yourself, and then you don't play anybody, and then
they're better off not playing in a conference because again,
right.
Like I think you leave Bama out because of how they lost to Georgia yesterday, and then Bama lost to Florida State, who is terrible. So it's like you can match up all of these things, and it's like it's tough. I mean, it's tough, and we had these issues when it was just 4 teams, and now we have them with 12, and I guess none of it really matters because the top teams are probably going to come away with it. But I would have liked to see Notre Dame in there. And then BYU just got robbed as well because you say the same thing.
Yeah.
They lost twice to the number 4 team. Those are their only 2 losses. BYU probably has a better case than Notre Dame.
They do.
They lost twice to Texas Tech, and then they're out because they lost in their conference championship. So, like, how do you punish Bama for that but not BYU? So it's just messy, and there's no, like, good system to it because all these conferences have different tiebreakers, and then Miami was never even in their conference championship game because some ranking system with the ACC where it was Duke and Virginia. It's kind of a lot of it's very dumb, and I wish they would kind of come together and figure it out.
To the Bama part, I think Bama, pretty much the top 2 to 3 teams in the SEC will always be flirting with the playoffs because of their strength of schedule. They always play one of those other teams that are in the top 3, and then they always have some other team on the schedule that's definitely highly ranked. So you're probably playing 4 highly ranked teams throughout your schedule each year. So if you lose 2, you lost 2 against maybe the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed, right? So your strength of schedule with those type of teams, it's an advantage of being in the SEC, honestly. I think that's why, to your point of, Bama hasn't really looked great since post Nick Saban. This is probably the best year that they've looked since then. But I think that's the only reason why they're really, really, really around, because Georgia's been spanking them recently. So,
and I mean, and the elephant in the room, no pun intended here, is just it's Alabama. More people are going to watch Alabama. I mean, you can make that case for Notre Dame, of course, but more people are watching Alabama than BYU.
But then it's like the third bullet I had was like, should these group of 5 teams, have these guaranteed spots? Because I like JMU, and obviously I worked at Tulane, and I like Tulane, but I'd rather see Notre Dame and Texas in there, just to be completely honest. I mean, yeah, it's great that everyone's involved and everyone gets a spot and you get an automatic bid as a group of 5, but I don't know. I would just rather see Notre Dame and Texas in those first round matchups than JMU and Tulane. No disrespect to those two, but
I don't like what Notre Dame did after they didn't get the invitation and then declined to go to a bowl game. I don't.
that.
I don't, because I feel that it sets a precedence for other colleges to do the same thing later on down the road. And just because we didn't make it, now we're going to cry and not go to a bowl game. And now think of it from this perspective, you're taking a final game away from seniors that have another opportunity to play one last time with their teammates and get some more exposure before they go into said Senior Bowl or get more scouting looks and whatnot. Obviously, they had the whole year to do that, but I don't think that's fair to the players that are seniors that are getting the extra game taken away from them.
What about this Florida State thing a couple years ago where they didn't make it and they got all hurt about it and half the team didn't play, right? Wasn't that Florida State?
Well, that's the way it is now. Like that's
what's the difference?
Like Notre Dame, those guys like Jeremiah Love, like Price, they're not playing anyway. Like they're getting ready for the draft. They don't need one more game on tape. So it's I agree with that sentiment a few years ago, but now like with the implement of the 12-team playoff, like a lot of these bowl games are truly meaningless. Like, and you're just like risking more injury when you already have enough on tape. So I like what they did. I think it does set a precedence to like, all right, if we weren't good enough to be in this college football playoff, like our season's over. That's fine. It's cool. We don't need one more game to play. A lot of these bowl games would try to use Notre Dame's name as clout, and it's like, no, we're done here. We're good. We'll try again next year.
Yeah, and I guess this is what Notre Dame's wanted, right? Just historically not being in a conference. At least they're not in a football conference, right? But
correct. Every other sport is in the ACC.
ACC, right? Yeah. So, this is the rules of engagement that they have created. So
yeah.
And there's the years where they go to BCS championship game and they just get knocked around.
Like last year.
Yeah. On the watch. I hear you, Harrison. I just think it's just I hate it and I understand it at the same time. Like I just really, really hate it. It's like we're you sound like sore losers. Like you're giving for me, I'm like, just man up and play. But also, like you said about like Love, obviously he's not playing because he's going to be a top running back in the draft. Like, yeah, you don't need to play. But there's other players on the team that should and need to play, and go ahead and play. But if you're the top 2 to 3 players on the team, you don't necessarily need to play. If you want to play, great, that's fine. If not, you can start and have the guy that's replacing them next year go in and do what they're supposed to do or whatever the case may be. I just don't like how it's just like, we didn't win, we're out of here, and then it's just like, all right, cool.
How did it lay out though? Were they notified they didn't make the 12-team playoff and just said, just take us out? Or did they schedule a bowl game and now Notre Dame's refusing to?
So with Notre Dame,
I haven't been paying attention.
With Notre Dame, because they're not in a conference, they don't have like a bowl tie. So there's no place for them to be like, okay, you're supposed to go here. So they just said off the rip, like, we're good. Don't even select us. Like we're not coming.
Gotcha.
We're not going to be here.
That's the big shit too. I can't lie. It's just like, whatever you think that we're going to do, we're not going to do. So just don't send us shit. We're not going.
But that's just it checks out with all of their history and not being in a conference and signing their own TV deal with NBC. Like they run what they want to run. Like that is how they operate. Like they are big enough. They're a big enough brand where none of this matters. And like, don't even talk to me. And especially like they have major beefs with ESPN all throughout this whole run of just like shitting on them the whole time and propping up the SEC and ACC. And they're just like, okay, we'll just take our ball and go home. Like we don't need you. So I don't know. I like it from that standpoint.
I think that was the headline in The Athletic.
Was it?
Yeah, like they taking their ball and going home is bad for college football or something. But I didn't read the article.
It's good for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's right. They are their own ecosystem, right? Like they just do what they want to do.
It's a wild place. Like I got to go there 2 years ago. Our basketball team played there, and like I didn't understand it until I went. and like how it is its own ecosystem and its own entire world there. It is a different place. I had never been anywhere like it.
Touchdown, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. Those crybabies get whatever they deserve. MLB. You all get what you deserve. This is going to be a Brendan and Sam segment. We have the winter meetings. Winter meetings. We got Devin Williams to the Mets and Jeff Kent to the Hall of Fame. Gentlemen, floor is all yours.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. We're right in the thick of it here. The hot stove for the MLB offseason. They're down, all the GMs down in Orlando for the winter meetings this week. So we should see some, hopefully, free agent signings, maybe some trades at some point this week. Keep things interesting. So I'm excited to see what comes of this. Sam, you'll be happy to hear. I'm sure you saw the news that your Pirates apparently offered Schwarber a 4-year deal, didn't sign, but hey, at least they're taking a swing at a premier bat.
I heard that the Pirates are just trying to spend all of this money because when there's a potential lockout at the end of the year next year, that they're going to say, well, we're not a bottom feeder team. We're trying to sign people, but they're not actually. Like they offered Naylor a contract that was below obviously what he signed. I didn't know. I didn't hear that news though. Good for them.
Hey,
I'm sure
at least
somewhere he wants to be.
Have the Yanks done anything yet? Anything of note?
No.
Okay.
No, they have not.
Are we close on Bellinger?
No,
not from the reports that I've seen.
Okay.
The last thing Cash said, he talked to Boris about Belly and other people. That's pretty much what he said.
And I heard something this morning that the Yanks are a little pissed off at Boris and for everything that happened last year with the Soto sweepstakes, and they really felt like, and it's just, I mean, that's what Scott Boris does, right? I mean, he's trying to get the most money, the longest term deals, the highest AAV for his clients. But I heard a rumor that the Yanks might be withholding an offer for Bellinger and just to not have a bidding war develop once again. So how truthful that is, I don't know, but kind of interesting if that is going on behind the scenes.
That's a good point. I mean, there's a long history of Boris guys and the Yankees, but again, Scott Boris is going to find you your money, but you may end up in the Detroit Tigers. You might, you could be Pudge Rodriguez in the Detroit Tigers or wherever it is. Like, so yeah, that'd be interesting to see. I haven't heard much. I know the pitcher from Japan who famously said last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't want to play with, the Dodgers, the Japanese players on the Dodgers. I want to beat them. So he's been really linked to the Yankees.
I love that attitude,
which is exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Yanks are going to have to swing a trade or two to really add to this roster. I think it's either Dominguez or Spencer Jones or even both. I think they're going to be dealt at some point this offseason. That's just my thoughts and prediction there. I feel like it's now you got to cash in on, especially Spencer Jones had a monster year in the minors last year.
We've been saying this on and off the air about Spencer Jones for a year and a half now, but yeah, if they got to just sell high on him. Hopefully he could turn in something. If not, he's going to be Joey Gallo.
Right. So. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, we should get some news at some point this week coming out of the winter meetings. Yanks are still way too left-handed heavy.
Yeah, so I was going to say that too.
So they're going to have to balance left-handed.
So that's
and Belly. Yeah, even though Bellinger hit lefties better last year than righties, but it'll be interesting to see how they try to balance that out. And then, Jeff Kent, the contemporary baseball era committee elected Jeff Kent into the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Gary Sheffield, and El Presidente each received fewer than 5 votes, which is, I don't know. We could probably have a whole episode on this, but not having Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame is insane to me.
Yeah, so this was what used to be called the Veterans Committee. So it's like, what is it, 14 former players or coaches or executives, whatever.
Yep.
And if you got under that threshold, and they do this vote every 3 years. So the next vote is when Pete Rose will be on this ballot. So a lot of people thought that Clemens, Bonds, the best shot to get into the Hall of Fame would be right now because they're being elected by their peers. Mm-hmm. So now was Clemens on that list of under 5 too?
He was. Yeah.
So now they're not going to be eligible to be on that ballot.
Yep.
In 3 years. Donnie Baseball also didn't make it in here, but he is. So I had a real thought that at least if Clemens and Bonds didn't make it, that Donnie would be in.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This is a Yankee fan, and maybe I think he's a Hall of Famer.
100%.
I know you have to keep the coaching and the player separate. Like Joe Torre's in the Hall of Fame as a coach and not as a player, and I don't think Don Mattingly is near as good of a manager as Joe Torre was. But there's just 40 years in baseball. I think Don Mattingly is a Hall of Famer.
Hitters of all time, honestly.
Yeah,
I
100%.
Roger Clemens, one of the best pitchers of all time. Barry Bonds, one of the best players of all time. And we're sitting here just twiddling our thumbs, just waiting to see if these guys are ever going to get into the Hall.
Totally, dude. I've said this on this pod a million times. It's a hill that I was dying on 20 years ago. Like, these guys can't be in the Hall of Fame. Now I don't put an asterisk. Everyone knows. Do something. They are as much part of baseball and have helped, especially in Bonds' case, McGwire, Sosa, revitalizing the sport as anyone. And if the Bud Selig getting, being eligible for the Hall of Fame or whatever, and everything that he hid and tried to manipulate, and it's crazy. So we'll see. And Jeff Kent, he was one of these guys that did get into the Hall of Fame because he wasn't nice to the writers for so long, like a la Albert Bell. So, fine. I think he's a fine player. I think his kid plays for the Renegades, or did last year. I saw him a couple games, so
there you go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see in next month who gets in the normal ballot.
Yeah, I don't hate the Jeff Kent selection. Yeah, he was I would see the all-time home run leader for among second basemen.
Second base,
could be worse. Kurt could be Harold Baines, right?
Can I get a quick summary of why Sonny Gray's in my news cycle at the moment?
Oh yeah, that's just throwing shade at the Yanks.
He basically, he said he didn't want to. He's with the Red Sox now. The Cardinals traded him to the Red Sox last week, and he basically said he never wanted to go to New York. He was traded from the Athletics to the Yankees in like 2018, and he said he never wanted to go there. Although when he got signed or when he got traded, the press conference was, the
always wanted to be here.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, but I will say, and I've heard Sonny Gray on when CeCe and Ryan Russillo had their podcast. I think Sonny Gray was on there once or twice, and he was basically going on about how it was hard to play in New York, and within the organization, it was hard to be a Yankee. So that kind of checks out. But now, just you say one thing publicly and behind the scenes. So now Cashman and whoever Gray's agent are going back and forth. So
just say you can't match up to the lore of the Yankees. Just say that. Just say you couldn't take it. It's okay, bud. You can just say that. It's all right.
What's his beef with the Bronx?
I remember hearing when he left the Yanks. Where was his next stop? Sam, was it the Reds, or was it straight to St. Louis? Yes. Reds, right?
Yeah.
Larry Rothschild. Roth.
Just Roth.
Apparently, he had some issue with him. He was a pitching coach at the time for the Yanks, and either forced him to throw more sliders or
I remember that. Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. So heard something along those lines. That was the rumor back then. But kind of what you're hinting at here, Hayes, New York isn't for everybody. I can understand it. Either the pressure or just what the Yankees are about. So maybe it's just personal preference. But now it's going to be interesting to see him when he toes the rubber in the Bronx when Boston comes to New York. So
that'll be fun.
Looking forward to seeing and hearing that. So yeah, good times. But
yeah. Oh well, he thought they got him in 2017, and in 2018 at the trade deadline, he asked Cashman why he didn't get traded, and Cashman said, "Well, we need pitching badly, and you're a good pitcher. Why would we trade you?" But I guess he didn't want to be there.
All right.
Well, you don't want to be here. Good riddance. Yep. Bye. Don't need you. Let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. All right. On that note, everybody, this has been another episode of the Chasing Points podcast. Anything you guys like to say before we get out of here? All right.
Go Bears.
Okay. We could have gone without that. All right.
Hey, Brandon,
Sam, please take us out of here, please.
Brandon, I hope you have a great week, Brandon.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
Have a great night too. Are you watching the Monsters Inc. thing? I know you're really excited, but like, this is your team.
That is true. Good point.
Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
First,
wants to come over. Can I bring my kids?
No, I don't. I don't want you guys. I don't want you guys anywhere near me. Number one.
You want to come over my house?
No, the first quarter would be watched on that, and then I'd probably be Monster Inc. out after the first quarter, and then I watch the regular way after. That'll be that. Got to get the experience just a little bit, just so we can talk about it on here. If it's really, really fire, then I might watch the whole first half of it. But outside of that, no.
I still think it's crazy that this is a Monday night game when a majority of the country is in Eastern Standard Time. But I think it's really cool. They did the Toy Story thing a couple of years ago with the England game. That was awesome.
That was really dope. Yeah, that was really good. It was really good. SpongeBob was also one too, if I remember correctly. They did SpongeBob as well. SpongeBob was like a year or two ago. It was very, very, very interesting. Down at Bikini Bottom. All right. Sam, take us out, please, sir.
195 in the books. So for Brandon and Brendan and Harrison, I'm Sam. Thanks so much for listening. Tell your friends, and we'll be back next week. Peace.
Go get that tree up.
Oh, happy birthday, Natalie.
Whoa,
Bye.
whoa.
What's